Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
All right. Hey everybody, we're gonna utilize this. I'm gonna run my intro real quick. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose for what is today? I know it's Saturday, the 24th. Wow, man, October's almost over, which means this election is almost here. We're right there. I just so everybody knows, I broke down my computer and I have not set it back up yet. So the lighting is going to be a little bit off and everything, but I think it's all right. I wanted to touch base with everyone and let everybody know what's going on. We had the meet and greet and the watch party the other day at the DAV, and it was good. It was good. We had some engagement. We had some issues though. One of the issues was we had to utilize the microphone for the audio for the television, well, the screen, right? We had a projector set up and we ended up needing to use the microphone for that. I did not realize until later that meant we had no audio for the watch party that we started for the debate. It was kind of crazy. I was talking to some people, and then when we started the debate coverage, so I messed up on that. I apologize for those of you that tuned in. It was not the best experience for you, and for that I do apologize. It is what it is. I apologize. It wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it was. I think overall it was a great event. The people that showed up had a good time, and I will say the debate was strangely fairer than I expected it to be. Jack, hey man. Let's see. Yep, there you are. I am using my mobile device for this. Like I said, I haven't set my computer back up yet. It's been go all day. This morning I was on WCOE, the Eagle. Hope you heard me. About 10 o'clock I was on this morning, and during that program it was announced, and I found out on the way the new hospital in LaPorte is open, and they were in the process of moving patients, which is why I was late. There was an accident in Michigan City, and then the traffic was really bad in LaPorte because of the patient moving. But the new hospital's open, so we'll see how it goes. It looks, I mean, it's big, right? It's big. We'll see if it's any good. Then after that, there was a flag retirement ceremony at the American Legion in LaPorte. Hey, that was pretty amazing. That's the first time I had seen that, and I got some pictures from the event that I'm going to share with you. It was a good. It was really nice. It was to be able to see what happens, what they do with the flags when they're done, and they had them. They had a ceremony where they retired them. They played taps. They then retired them with fire, and it wasn't a, set the flag on fire and wave it around, anarchist kind of way. It was a retirement, respectful ceremony, and it was very enlightening. After that, we went to, let's see, I had to come back home, pick up the wife and kids, had some phone calls to make, talked to some supporters, met up with some people in Westville that was kind of a pro-life um, service. I thought it was going to be like a rally or something, and it was just a few people that got together to talk about the advancement of that in Indiana and how that was going. Then we went over to the Trump parade that was occurring in Union Mills. We went from Union Mills down into Hannah over to Wanata and then back. Um, there were a lot. There were a lot. It was a fairly recent, again, short term, short notice. Got everything together and got it all going. I believe 60, 62 or 63, possibly as many as 66 vehicles participated. Um, it was pretty awesome. It really was. And again, far more positive interactions with the public than negative. You had, a couple of people with the thumbs down and the flipping people off and stuff. But the vast majority of people were extremely nice, honking, waving, very positive. So, as per the title, we're going to talk about how freedom is not free. Uh, I don't know if you're familiar with the story of William Penn, but he was a Quaker. And if you look up William Penn trial, happened in the 1600s, and he was a guy, a Quaker, who was not allowed to practice his religion. There was a certain religion, the Church of England, and that was the only official religion. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason that the United States is so adamant about freedom of religion. And one of the reasons is because of things just like this trial. In the very beginning of the trial, basically they had a small service that was not allowed. They'd taken to court for it, arrested, and the individuals were told as they walked into the courtroom to put their hats on, the Quaker hats, right? They had taken their hats off to show respect for the court, had them in their hand. They were walking in. The bailiff instructed them to put their hats on, to wear their hats. So they did. They put their hats on. And they were immediately charged with contempt of court for having their hats on in the courtroom. That was just to scratch the surface. The jury in this case was instructed over and over to find in favor of the crown. They were told you will be given no food, jailed. By God, you're going to give us a verdict that we agree with. That's the kind of court system that we could be under had we kept the rule of England. Look it up. By all means, ladies and gentlemen, please look it up. Penn, William Penn, he's actually the founder, eventually, of Pennsylvania. That's why it's called Pennsylvania. Actually, Pennsylvania means Penn's Woods. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania was kind of given to him. It is a travesty that this type of thing happens all across the world. The United States is a very, very special place. And there are those that denigrate this country, that talk bad about this country and talk about how racist it is and how evil and all of these things, right? Oops. I was trying to move the light and I knocked stuff over. How bad it is, and they like to talk about all these things, right? But I challenge people to name a better country than the United States right now, and today. Name a better country that's out there. Some people would claim the UK or Canada or somewhere else. None of these countries, no other country on the planet has the degree of protection that the United States does for things like speech and religion. And this applies, look, this applies to everyone. It isn't, you don't have freedom of religion except You have freedom of religion, freedom to practice your religion, as long as you don't hurt anyone else. That's why things that involve sacrifice are not allowed, human sacrifice, right? But there are countries out there where people are charged, arrested, charged with a crime, and thrown in a prison to rot. The criminal justice system in this country is not perfect. I am not going to tell you that it is, because it is certainly not. I have experienced both sides of it. I was a wild teenager. I did some really, really stupid stuff, and it's all there. I put it out there for you, so you know it's nothing I'm ashamed of. It made me the person that I am now. I regret doing it because it was dumb, but I was a wild teenager. I am living proof that people can turn their lives around. They can become better. They can get their stuff straight, as it were, and go on to do I, good things, to support their families, to have a meaningful career, a meaningful life, to teach their children right from wrong. Um, there are issues with our criminal justice system, but I challenge anyone to find a better one across the world, one where you aren't guilty until proved innocent, like you're innocent until proven guilty, right? That's the key. And I've talked before about cancel culture and why it's an issue. And again, it comes down to people assuming you're guilty until you're proven innocent. That's why the court systems are so critical. And it's why I personally want to see more funding for the public defender's office. Did you know that the prosecutor's office has, in general, 2.5 times more funding than the public defender's office? It's not right. Prosecutors are judged on their conviction rate, right? When you have 90+ % conviction rate, that means you're doing right. That means you're a good prosecutor. The way that these are done is through plea deals. The vast majority of people who get arrested will never see a courtroom. They'll get arraigned, and then a plea deal will be put through. As a matter of fact, our court systems cannot even handle the vast number of people that are processed through it, the number of arrests and incarcerations. If everyone insisted on going to court, the entire system would break down. That's why prosecutors rely so heavily on the plea deal system. Is it right? Not really. Unfortunately, it's what we got. There are ways that we can make the criminal justice system more fair. I have not only been a troubled youth, but I've also been a correctional officer. I've seen the other side of the bars. I have seen what people experience, both in prison and working in prison. Privatized prisons, horrible, absolutely horrible, and I'm going to do everything that I can to get rid of them. We have a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of work to do. That's why I'm really looking forward to serving you in Indianapolis. I'm really looking forward to being your state representative. I want to be able to get on the floor and tell these representatives from all across the state why things are broken and how we can fix them. I will be authoring legislation on a number of issues. But most importantly, I'm going to be your voice in Indianapolis if you choose me. And I hope that you will. I really do. I look forward to having more of these discussions with you as time goes on. If you elect me, you can consistently count on me keeping you in the loop, telling you what bills are there. And that's what's needed. That's absolutely what's needed. We have to have people in up and down the ballot that tell us what's going on. And for those of you who hate Donald Trump, one of the biggest draws of Donald Trump is the fact that he communicates directly with the public, regardless of his attitude, regardless of his personality, or whatever the media tells you. One of the biggest things that people love about Donald Trump, the most ardent supporters, is the fact that he talks directly to us. Could he do it a different way? Sure he could. He might, use better language or do this or do that, but it comes down to him communicating directly with you and me. And that's what I'd like to do. Obviously, a little differently, maybe than Trump does it. I don't have a problem saying what's on my mind. Any of you who have watched me for over the last several months, 8, 9 months, have seen that I have no problem saying what's on my mind. I'll tell you what I think, um, and I allow you to tell me what you think. And I think that's the most important aspect of this. We live in a connected world now, a connected state and a connected community, to where I can get online and I can say, "Hey guys, how's it going? You know, what's your opinion of this bill that I have on my desk? Here's what it says. Here's the summary of it. Here's what it's going to do if it's passed. Here's what's going to happen if it's not." And I give you a chance to weigh in. Um, there will be times, obviously, and we've seen it before, where the most vocal people do not represent the majority. The people that are screaming and clamoring and shutting down communications, those people don't represent the majority. We know this. I know this. Uh, but it is important that we have discussions, and that's one reason why the First Amendment is so absolutely critical, because you're going to have people that you disagree with. You're going to have people that disagree with you. We're never going to get anywhere if we stay stuck in our little sounding board, our little room, that people have the exact same opinions as us. That used to be what higher learning was all about. That used to be what college was about. You go to college, you learn that, hey, there are other people out there that have a different opinion than I do. And it's okay. We can talk about that. But unfortunately, the First Amendment has been really shut down on our higher learning campuses. Social media has put a big clamp down on freedom of expression, freedom of speech. I don't know if you've noticed, I've had some trolls and some haters on my posts and my pages. I don't delete them. I don't shut them down. A free and clear line of communication is the only thing that's going to allow us to heal the divide that the media is responsible for. People like to blame Trump. It's not Trump, it's the media. It's the media and the talking heads that Orange Man bad. They feed you the dialogue for that. They hate him. And I get it. Look, there are some things that Donald Trump has said and done that trigger some people, right? That really cause them to get absolutely angry. But again, I think the media is primarily responsible for that. When you pick little parts of someone's quote and run it with a narrative and a goal to infuriate people and divide them, then absolutely, the media is absolutely complicit. I'm gonna do a video here shortly where I'm going to directly tell you why because I support Donald Trump. I'm going to do a video where I tell you why. But it just comes down to, I support the policies that he has put forward. I support the things that he's done for this country in the short time that he's been there. In my opinion, he has done far more than the media will ever give him credit for. And the information's out there if people choose to find it. But moving on, you don't have to support Trump to support me, right? You can hate Trump if you want. That's okay. After the election's over, assuming I get elected, I'm going to move Trump and he won't be there anymore. I'm going to be talking to all the voters, right? I just have him up there because I like the sign, really what it comes down to. I like the Bergeron family sign. And I had to have a place to put him. He was my Christmas tree a few years ago. But moving on, people have died. People have been tortured and killed for the rights that you have, for the rights that I have. to protect those rights. And I think it's really important that people understand that the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights does not grant you rights. Those rights are yours already. You already have those rights. Those are inherent rights, unalienable rights. All the Constitution and the Bill of Rights does is keep the government from infringing on those rights. It keeps government. The sole purpose of government is to protect your God-given rights. That's important. That's really important to understand, because a lot of people believe that the government grants you rights. If the government can grant you a right, then they can also take it away. Just like anything the government gives you can also be taken away if you don't toe the line. For those people that want the government to take care of every aspect of your lives, they want the government to feed them and clothe them and take care of the housing allowance and all that stuff. The people that want that need to understand that the government can take that away just as easily, and sometimes far more easily, than they give it to you. I am for less government, far less government. I am for just as much government as necessary to protect your rights. And look, let's be honest. There are people that cannot take care of themselves. Those are the people that I support giving help to, right? The initial system, Medicaid, Medicare, Medicare, a little different. That's for our seniors and our disabled, but Medicaid, it was set up, welfare was set up in order to help people get themselves back to where they can support themselves. And if the program is used properly, that's what it does. Look, there are always going to be people that take advantage of situations, and that's no different. But I wanted to catch you up. I wanted to tell you, what's going on with me. We're working hard, trying to reach as many voters as possible before Election Day, because I think it's really important. People need to know that there's an option out there, and they need to know that I'm accessible, transparent, and most important, that I will work for you, because that's what a representative does. They work for you. They should talk to you, not at you. And they should always, always be available so that you can reach them and you can talk to them. This is a crazy election, ladies and gentlemen. Like, here's the thing, right? If you're going to lose an election, it might as well be 2020, right? I mean, with all the things that have gone on this year, it's amazing that anybody's been able to campaign at all. But I'm trying the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can in order to get the word out to as many voters as possible, because it's important. Our freedom is important. And there are those that support a certain party and believe a certain party is the only thing that can save America. And that's fine. You can believe that. I will say this. I really highly recommend that regardless of party, you look into the people on your ballot, learn about them, learn where they stand, learn who they are, and support the person you believe in the most. With that, I'll allow you to get back to your evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Like always, God bless you, God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2020. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.